Hello again, it's Adeline with Coldwell Banker Faith Properties coming to you at home free with the Disruption Networks. Today we have Ben Giorgi with us from Rock Solid. Property inspections, radon, mold. This guy kind of does it all, so I'd hate to limit him. He just kind of remediates everything.
Hey, Addie, thank you for having me on today. I'm so excited to be on the show today.
So glad you could join us.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So you've got a lot of information to get out. You just got back from some training in Rochester.
Yeah, we did the mold training. Our company's now on either side of the book here, assessment and remediation. We felt that our area needed a little more of a touch, smaller company touch to deal with some of the in and out home problems during that come up during real estate transactions and sales, instead of getting a large company in that's just going to charge up exorbitant fees. And I thought we needed that in the area, so we're excited to do the launch.
It's nice.
Yeah,
eh?
thank you.
So now, Rock Solid, what are you doing? It's just basically everything. Give us the list.
It's everything. So we founded the company on home inspections here, and I wanted to really get that up off the ground first. So it's taken a little bit. I've been doing home inspections now like 18 months, somewhere in there. So, but it was always in the plans to expand the business to the other side, like the healthy home side of things, because I feel like a lot of the newer homeowners now are more what's the word I'm looking for?
Maybe savvy?
Yeah, savvy, and they're a little more health conscious than I was when I was younger.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they realize they don't want to be in our health when they're our age.
Seriously. Oh my God, totally. Yeah. So, we just in between like inspections, I started taking some classes, the radon classes. That's a really hard industry to be in. There's not that many of us around.
Well, and honestly, nobody understands what radon is.
Nobody.
And I have to say, a lot of real estate agents, and they should.
Sure.
But a lot of them don't even understand what it is.
No.
So can you give the people maybe a little kind of understanding if they have no idea what radon is, why they should know what it is?
It's a gas that comes from uranium depletion underground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the stuff that the government harvests to make the bombs in.
Some scary shit.
We're selling that stuff all over the world there. So when you have like a hot spot or the gases travel up and through the house, the long term statistics now are really coming through. Are showing cancer signs, specifically lung cancer. So I think the government's kind of clamped down, like the EPA is involved now, and they have a set of guidelines for rules when you buying and selling houses, and not just that, everyone should get a test.
Oh yeah,
done,
I agree completely.
And it's a small cost to compare to the long-term health effects that you'll have if you do have the cancer.
Yeah, well, yeah, because roughly the testing is about $150. How much is it to test for radon?
Yeah, if it's included, like if you were just to do it yourself, you're right on the money. Between $100 and $150, it's really not a lot at all when you think about it. And there's all different kinds of tests. Like there's a continuous machines, there's charcoal canisters. So, and I think that pretty soon the EPA is going to start cracking down on the home inspectors. They're not going to be able to set test unless they have their certification. So it's coming down the pike because the FHA is going to be going that way, and all the HUD houses now, like anything HUD, like apartment complexes, now have to get all tested. We've been getting a lot of calls to do like a big apartment complexes, and
interesting.
Yeah, it's been a fun business, but it's extremely hard because you not only have to be a good student, like in the classroom with chemistry equations and physics, and you really have to know all that stuff in the classroom. But then on the other side of that, you really have to take all that knowledge and apply it to like tradesman stuff. You know, we do core excavation, drilling, you know, soil excavation. There's plumbing involved, pipe fitting, wiring. There's heights, and it's a very, very fun but complicated process.
Yeah, I've seen some systems that have taken actually a couple of tries to get them right. Either, you know, the basement wasn't sealed well enough, and, you know, there was still some gas coming in or whatnot.
For sure. You got that right, because sometimes you don't know what kind of we call it aggregate. It's what's the house is constructed on.
Right.
Is it stone, which is very easy to pull air out from underneath? So what we try and do is we drill a hole in a certain part of the home, and instead of the gases coming up everywhere, we try and channel it to that one hole and suck it up through a fan and then up and out of the house. But we've had a couple instances out near in Rome, like on the beach, like on the lake, where the house is all sand under there, and it's very hard to pull any kind of air out from under there. So. Yeah. And you know, everyone, they want the cheapest system, and we don't put cheap systems in because we don't fool around with health. So
yeah, I don't blame you. And the systems can be alarmed now too, right? So that if they do fail, like if a fan misfunctions and a radon level goes above, what is it, 4? That
it's just if 4. Yes, 4 is the number that the United States has set for the EPA. The alarm is more for if the fan trips off, we can set up a little device inside the house that tells them, hey, something's wrong with your system, you know, go and check it. But other than that, the fans run 24 hours a day, 365, and they use about as much power as a 60-watt light bulb. So
well, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
No,
it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. But we like putting systems in because we got a little crew now, and we have fun on the job site, and
well, it keeps it interesting.
We love it. You know, we play tunes, and a lot of the homeowners ask questions. You know, they come down checking over our shoulders. Hey, what's this? What's that? So,
well, I think once people find out that it's the leading cause of lung cancer, they get a little more interested.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You're not kidding.
Yeah,
when
then
it
you
comes
have
to
their
their
attention.
health, you do. You got that right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just part of our healthy homes. You know, attitude. You know,
right.
So we like being a part of the real estate world here. It's a fun place to be in.
It is a lot of different
dynamics,
situations and construction and you know, artesian wells and drilled wells and dug wells and you're doing the UV systems now too.
Yeah, UV systems. So a lot of a lot of arguments I've gotten into with some agents about the wells because.
Right.
You know, shocking a well like in the past is just a means for the well to pass, but you're also passing on those problems to the new homeowner, and I'm kind of against that, and I'll let the agents know that even if it causes some tension, I have to get that point across to them because a lot of the wells that we're seeing, like in the rural parts of the area, they fail for a couple of reasons. One, this year we've had a lot of rain. This year, a tremendous amount of rain, which brings the table up very high. You have animals that trounce through your yard, deer, birds, squirrels. So a lot of them use the ground as their own toilet, just like guys do when they're camping. You know?
So it can leach into.
So it can leach in the groundwater through there. Another problem that you have is other people's failed septic systems that have gone unchecked for so long that leach into the water. So, you know, do you want to drink out of canned water from the store, or do you want to drink it from the house? You know, and that's, you know, I asked them that. You know.
Right.
So the UV light systems are nice because it's like having your own little system at your house that you can drink the water, you can shower.
It's like
nice.
it's a whole filtration system.
The whole thing.
The whole light bulb just.
We put the pre-sediment filter in first to
Yeah.
take some of the larger aggregates out of the well.
Okay.
And then we'll dump them into a softener, which softens the water up a little bit. And the salt and the chlorine takes a little more of the nasties out of the water.
Right.
Then we'll put it through the UV light system, which zaps it all.
And
And
cleans
then-
it right up.
Back into the house. And then what we'll do as part of our system, we'll put a separate tap under the sink with a 4-stage reverse osmosis system, so they have clean drinking water at the source,
Nice.
at their sink. Yeah, thank you.
That's a nice added little
It
touch.
is. We try and go above and beyond. And like I tell everyone, we're not the cheapest, but we are the best. at
Well, I
doing
mean,
that.
you really want it to be done right.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you do something like that,
yeah.
you really have to do it
We're
correctly
not
because
in-
what's the sense?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not in the industry to be half-assed.
No.
You just can't half-ass this
yeah,
kind of
no.
stuff. So, we lose some and we win some. So, ultimately, we know that at night we can kind of sleep at night knowing that we've done a good job and like, oh, man, that we did a half-ass.
Yeah.
Well, you'll never hear that from us.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I would rather not sell a house to somebody than worry about them being in a money
Right,
pit.
and sometimes what's the price? Maybe it's a couple $100 over the long run.
Never worth
Sometimes
it,
it's
yeah.
never worth it. So
It's never worth skimping.
and I tell it, oh well, this and that. I'm like, I'm sorry, but if we're not the right kind of people for you, so we try and do our best, but we enjoy doing it too.
Mhm.
We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I was actually on a home inspection recently, and the owner shocked the well.
Yeah.
And honest to God, we turned on the faucet, and the bleach smell
Yeah.
was so bad.
So what's he hiding?
I don't know, but yeah. So we had to clear it, and
You're right.
thank God we were doing the flow test anyways. So
Right.
we did the flow test, and it cleared all the chlorine, but we still had to wait a few days for.
Because the water authority won't take a highly chlorinated
Well, no,
test
because
sample.
they know it's contaminated
Right,
at that
exactly.
point.
And even though they can hide the fact then, maybe in a week or two when it comes back, you're just passing that problem on there. And that's kind of one of those areas where not a lot of people talk about doing because people have been on either side of the fence there. So, I don't know. Is there an answer? No.
No.
There's no strict rules. It's a very gray area. So
Yeah, well, because some people do recommend cleaning your well.
you do, but if you've been using it for a while, I mean, the problem's going
Right.
to come back.
Right.
It's just if you have a problem there, it's always
It's going to come
be a
back.
problem. Yeah.
So cleaning the well doesn't really work
I
unless
don't-
you do it continuously.
I found out that it doesn't. Yeah, unless you stay on top of it like every other week, but you
Right.
don't want to be pouring
No.
bleach in your well every week. It's just
No, that's
it's not healthy
counterproductive.
for your water. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I learned something here
Yeah.
today.
What'd you learn? Did you learn something?
He's not here.
No. Okay.
All right, so we've covered the radon.
Yeah.
Let's really get into now. Mold is where you're expanding, and actually last year in January, real estate, really had a hit with the mold.
Yeah.
Where we had to,
And we're gonna see another big because of all the rain that
Right.
we've had.
yeah.
People undetected roofs that have been leaking downstairs, like water issues this year have been kind of right. It's
yeah,
been
incredible.
the flooding that we had in the summer. It was just another year that was super wet.
Yeah.
So, how many houses are you seeing?
Yeah, I'm seeing quite a few
Yeah.
that have, water in the basement where there's never really been water in the basement.
Yeah.
Even houses that I know,
Right.
where I know, well, they've never had a water problem, but like you've said, the water table's so
high. So
It's just ridiculous.
the hydrostatic pressure to the ground and on the walls, it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anywhere to go. So, things that can help gutters,
Right.
keep
the water away.
Keep the water away from the house. That's kind of, the grading around the house can be improved. I mean, small things, small things like that. But what do people fear the most when they go down into the cellar, see the water?
It's mold.
Mold in the water.
And what do people look for? let's just say, people are out house hunting. They're trying to find a nice, healthy house. What are some signs that they really need to look for that maybe there's an issue?
So the first thing that you want to look for are like is the house on a hill, because houses on hills get
Right.
that on the one side of the house. If they don't have good drainage, the water will push against that wall and eventually come in. Airflow. I tell almost all my customers, when you move in, get a fan in the basement. Just keep it on low. Just turn it on. Just get some air, circulation of air. The basement is the worst part of stagnant air because it's the most. I would say it's one of the most airtight areas of your home.
Wow.
Either if you have block walls or
Right.
poured walls, there's no airflow down there.
And everybody insulates the crap out of it.
Yeah, the rim and the floor, so you're trapping
Right.
in all that air in there. And they got their, their dehumidifiers running 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
They're emptying out that pail, 2 or 3 times a day, and that's got to tell you something. Something's going on here.
Right.
But a lot of people have like health issues from the mold, like respiratory, asthma. Some people are hypersensitive to that smell.
Yeah.
So we wear all the proper protective with the masks and the suits, and we look like spacemen.
Oh, and
But
you
we
should
love
see
it,
me.
though.
I've got my little charcoal
The
respirator mask.
respirators?
Yeah.
What do you
got
use
them
it
from the
for?
body shop.
From-
Foreclosures. Oh my God, man. The foreclosures are
Yeah,
just full.
they're crazy.
And so I have 3 or 4 masks
Yeah.
in my car, and I just replace them whenever I need to.
yeah,
And if you want to go in this house, you're wearing this.
You have
because
to.
I'm not going to be the one that,
no, you're smart. to
I
do
find
that.
out 2 years down the road you died from some freak mold disease.
Nasty
not on my
illness.
watch.
Yeah, no, that's super smart.
No.
And a lot of people think, oh, you just put those on to scare people. It's really
No,
not.
because I didn't get smart all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I have sinus polyps and cysts.
Yeah.
And they developed after showing a lot of foreclosures and moldy houses.
being in downstairs a lot, so you have to
Yeah.
protect yourself from
And
that.
so, yeah.
And our bodies aren't as, they're more susceptible to that kind of stuff now.
Right.
Now, so. So when even when we go into a job to look at, we always try and if it's too bad, we.
Yeah, if I'm unsure of the foreclosure, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put a mask on. But
Yeah.
if I see any mold-like substance or material,
Yeah.
because I can't call it mold. I don't know if it's mold.
We can now because now we have that.
Well, you can.
that license
You
now.
can.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I know I can't
Yeah.
call asbestos asbestos.
No, I
it's,
know
it's
that.
always asbestos-like material.
For
It's-
sure. That's a nice
know-
part of the state kind of outlined the mold division like in Article 32 of the state
Right.
law code, and they wrote a special part of it of home inspectors. Like no home inspector now could take a swab of mold if you're not certified, or you can't assess it like even
Yeah, right.
to the customer. You can't even
No.
report on it. So
You need an assessor, and then you need a separate remediator,
if you're
right?
doing the job. But
Right.
on the home inspection, you can actually do some reporting on it if the homeowner asked you to, or
Right.
if they want you to do that in their service, which I think that's smart. I think you
Yeah.
got to have
Oh,
a
yeah.
license, because the way that people word things in their inspection reports
Yeah,
could get a
sometimes can be
little
questionable.
So it kind of takes the guesswork out of it there. So
No, I do like that.
we love it.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. We got a couple of guys that we get on the job and we do it right, because we also are doing like recovery stuff, like we're gonna be the next like Serve Pro or like ChemDry and
Really?
yeah.
So kind of like emergency and
Disaster recovery. Yeah, we need a lot of that in our area, and we
Yeah,
need
I
a
love
small.
that.
Yeah, thank you so much. We needed a smaller outfit, not some big corporations coming
Right.
in, and they really take advantage of the insurance companies and a lot of the people that are like under duress
Right.
because they've lost their furnace, their hot water tank. They've got FEMA involved there,
Right.
and I just couldn't sit back and watch all these huge companies taking advantage. So we're a smaller company now, and I think we're gonna try and stay like intimate
Right.
like for people that they can come and call me. You know, we're a name and a face in the community.
Right.
That they know our family and so they know that we're all about health, especially Samara's mom is a doctor in the area. So we are kind of in the health areas, you
Right.
know. So and we want to keep that good name, you know.
Absolutely.
And we're having fun doing it, expanding like this. We love it.
Well, you are growing like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, in just a year and a half, you know, you've went from doing, you know, a few inspections
Yeah.
a week to
I went from hanging out with this kid.
yeah, because you were a stay-at-home dad for a while your wife was in school. You mentioned your wife is a doctor.
Almost
so,
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my homegirl over there. You know, we had the best times, but she's getting old enough now to spread her wings a little bit, and
Yeah, she's sick of you. Just say it. She's sick of you. She needs
she's
some friends.
She's ready to do stuff on her own. So, you know, we were gonna have this contest like in the community. What am I gonna do when I get older? We were all ready to.
Oh, I'd love those
Oh,
suggestions.
it was so. Oh my God, it was gonna be great. What am I? You know, so we were gonna have this big contest on
Yeah.
Facebook. And the person who won, you know, we were gonna take them out to dinner, and you know, it's a fun. You know, we like to keep things fun.
Yeah. So your mother won because she made this suggestion.
Ozza, I think, came in for Shirley. She was one of the people that said, you know, I think you'd be good at this. You know, try it out. So.
And for those of you at home that don't know, Giorgi is one of the top selling agents at Howard Hanna Real Estate for. Oh my God! How many years? She's incredible.
So long.
She's honestly incredible.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you know, she's helped me so much. You know, we always have something to talk about now. It's so funny, like, and you know, we're always trying to help each other out. You know,
Yeah.
we try and help each other solve some problems,
Right.
and she's really helped me with that gap between the home inspector and the agent because. You know,
sometimes there is a little miscommunication.
There is.
Because you guys understand things at a certain level.
Yes.
And we do not.
You do. And I have that
so...
and I have that advantage of, you know, thinking and talking like an agent would.
Right. Well, because you were exposed to it your whole life.
Yeah,
basically.
she is always gunning and running around.
Yeah,
so
she's something. She's a force.
I'm happy for her. She's doing great, and like she's kind of like one of them guy like inspirations in the field. Because I don't want to screw up because
she will take you down.
She will take me down to Chinatown, baby.
You better do it and do it right, or else Oz is gonna. Yeah,
that's it. So I always have her like on my mind.
I love her.
Yeah, me too. She's the best.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah,
incredible.
and it's at the point now where you know, we are, you know, circling around different deals, but you know. We try and stay out of each other's way, to be honest with you, and in a good way, because you know, we don't want to get involved in anyone thinking that
there's any favoritism. Or
right.
Like
and
that.
Now every agent in the city knows that there's not even close.
You've definitely gotten a reputation for being honest and fair.
And you too. I mean, you're a superstar in the area too.
Well, I try.
Yeah, I see your signs everywhere.
I'm just trying to keep up with the Oz's.
Yeah. We driving by. Oh, Addie. All the signs all the way down the road.
Well, I don't want you to miss me.
Yeah.
So then I just added a radio show in case you got sick of my face.
This is
there.
awesome. I love doing stuff like this. And you know, I'm all about
fun.
the news, and
You are.
I've been doing a lot of teaching. Like I've been in a lot of the agents' offices. Like, you know, they're calling me to teach a lot of their new agents and their experienced agents, because they kind of know that it's all in one. You can get it all here. We can talk about pretty much anything.
And it's vital that we're educated.
You have to
Education is crucial.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're looking for, you can't help your clients, you know, say maybe let's have a mold assessment before, you know, we put an offer full price in on this house, or
you should. I mean,
maybe we have a mason in if we see that this foundation is
pre-inspections are huge. Like in the grand scheme of things, they're really not a lot. You know,
no, it's a few
$100.
$100.
It is,
and honestly, from what the research is, you save thousands of dollars.
Totally, because you're not in a time crunch.
Well, and if you know how it is, if somebody sees an $100 item wrong, all of a sudden they want $1,000.
Sure.
off.
Oh, your jar here
Oh, yeah.
turns into an antique all of a sudden. You know,
it's
like
like-
an heirloom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what? That faucet's leaking.
Yeah.
You have to replace the bathroom.
That's a
the
solid.
the whole bathroom.
That's a solid bronze fixture there.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's hilarious.
what are you kidding me?
It's just like comical.
It's like, hold on, I'll be right there with
Yeah.
a $10 washer.
It's awesome. I know. It is. It's so easy.
But people don't understand. I mean, when you get to the point where somebody else finds the issue, even if it's not a big issue, they get nervous.
They do.
You know, more deals fall apart on home inspection because people aren't educated.
Right.
Or you know, I mean, whereas I know when you go through on an inspection because I've been there and I've
Yeah.
seen it, you won't get people scared. You'll say, this is, this. And yeah, maybe it should be addressed, but it can be addressed and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's just your confidence in knowing how to repair it. So a lot of people aren't very confident in, hey, okay, this is the problem, but let's take a look. Here's how to fix it. Here's how to do it. Can you handle that?
Right.
And if you can, then we'll move on to another solution to fix it.
Right.
That's the way that I kind of address it. Like, can you do that? And then it empowers people. It empowers people to say, hey, listen, this is a house that I'm gonna buy. I'm the owner of this house, because we're seeing a lot of first-time home buyers.
Oh yeah.
Because we're seeing a lot of the older generation stepping down out of their family houses that they've been in 50, 60
Downsizing.
years. Been a lot of tears this year for you've seen it.
yes.
So,
Yes.
and then these new up and comers, they're first time home buyers, instead of being like, panicking, let's empower them to, you can do this, man.
Yeah.
You take a Saturday and Sunday, and what better feeling is to take a Saturday or Sunday and do stuff on your house and
To rip out the carpet and
Yeah.
expose the hardwoods.
put up a deck that you can have
Right.
all your buddies over, having some
Yeah.
beers and a cookout.
Maybe
It's just-
leave the electrical to the professionals.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe the plumbing too, because you don't want leaks.
That's the way that I'm
but
seeing
start
it,
with
though.
little projects.
Little
yeah.
projects,
Yeah.
Let's see if we can empower this young generation to come out and swing a hammer, or,
Yeah, put up a backsplash.
absolutely.
It's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult. And, we didn't have the YouTube luxury
Oh.
or Google, like in high school and even in college, we didn't have cell phones
Oh,
back
please.
then.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even going there.
When my husband and I bought our first house, we were so young.
Yeah.
We were 21 and 23.
He's a handsome guy.
Isn't he a good-looking boy?
That
I did
dude
good.
there.
I did good.
I love that dude.
But, I mean, computers were honestly just coming about to where
Yeah.
you would even have one in your house.
And did you even know how to use it? Is the
Oh,
thing?
hell no.
Hell no.
And you couldn't use it because it took up the phone.
It did.
And
Yeah.
so we didn't have YouTube
No.
or anything. We made a lot of mistakes,
Us.
but we learned a lot.
Yes, absolutely. I
You
mean,
know,
you're
there was a lot of swearing.
when you fail, you succeed.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Well, I
you know?
think failure is always a learning experience.
It
You
is.
just learn what not to do.
Absolutely, and you can't.
And then the
go
next
down
time you
that
can do it
road.
differently.
Sure, try it different way.
So
Yeah.
we've did things 2 or 3
Yeah.
times sometimes, but sometimes we did them once.
We did.
You know, and those times we were like, yes.
yeah, we did it. See, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no
That's
swearing.
that empowerment.
I still like you.
Yeah, that's the couples are like hitting themselves with a hammer. Like we've all been there. It's
Oh,
like,
I stapled my whole thumb right to the
ah.
stairs doing carpet one time.
Let's talk about the market. How hot it is.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
sizzling.
Still,
It is.
in the middle of the
Through
December
holidays.
almost here, and we're like, what,
was
3
like-
weeks from Christmas,
I was
and
like,
it's crazy.
I was like, let's take a little break over Christmas. The last 2 weeks, we've had 9 calls for systems to put in. We have 4 or 5 active restoration jobs going on right now, and like the inspections have dwindled down from like 12 to 15 to like 6 or 7,
Yeah.
and that's
but
nice.
still, for this time of
I
year,
can handle that.
is
6 or
pretty
7 a
incredible.
week. Yeah, I was like plastic man. Like I can't be in two places at once.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I think it's still going to stay strong this year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see that lull this winter.
No.
There's buyers. Buyers are still out. I'm actively working with probably a dozen
Oh, that's
buyers who
awesome.
are on that burning platform.
Yeah.
You know, that
They're ready.
really, they need to buy a house.
Yeah, they're
You
ready.
know, they can't keep living,
Yeah.
where they're living or whatnot.
They're outgrowing space. And
Right. And they just need
Yeah.
to move.
And it's. I feel sometimes it affects their life too.
Oh,
like
God, yes.
their attitudes. That sometimes it's stressful at home. Like we need to get out of here.
Well, home is your safe place.
It is for sure. And if you're not happy in there, and believe me, there's been times we've been like doing some flips in some houses that we were stressed out in this house. We need to get out of this house, right? As soon as possible. So
Well, I've been in houses and shown houses that you can tell that the people there are stressed.
tension.
They're not happy.
Yeah.
They're always just a little dirtier.
Yeah, and when you open a closet, it's just full. Like every
there's
single
cobwebs, or
it's
the
time.
light fixtures are all dirty.
Yeah.
You look at that and you can kind of start seeing that, okay, somebody's maybe a little depressed.
Yeah.
Lost of a loved one or whatnot.
And
But that does happen a lot.
And I had a slight thought that because there's not that many houses out there with a lot of people buying, I thought that it might strike the new construction phase again, but it hasn't.
No.
It really hasn't.
No.
New construction's down.
I only had one client build this year.
Yeah. As was telling me too, it's so each.
Well, I think it's still expensive to build.
Yeah,
though.
it is. But if you're out of options, you find a way to build a house
but our
that you want.
housing is so cheap.
It is. To get a pre-owned house is the way to go, and I tell
really.
everybody that it's the way to go,
Yeah,
even if it needs a little love.
The uglier the house, the better.
The better, yeah.
Watch
Pinterest. You want
Pinterest
the
and
worst house in the best neighborhood.
Absolutely, it's all about location.
Location
and solid.
Yeah.
If it's solid and ugly,
for sure,
you can make it pretty.
Yeah.
Making it pretty is not even that expensive if you know what you're doing.
And you know what, Ian, even if you have to do some work in there, as you know, the trades are down right now. The tradesmen are down, so it's very hard sometimes to find a quality. So they're doing it themselves. A lot of people are taking some classes and doing it themselves. So, and I think each year that we're going on here, there's more and more people coming in the air. There's more kids that are graduating college and coming home. Hey, I have a good job here in Utica. I think I wanted to get a new house, and so the more people that are stacking up, I feel is going to fuel this 2018.
I think so.
The
too.
market, it's going to be good for everyone and the economy. And
I have to agree.
Yeah,
I have to agree.
Yeah,
I mean, and just everything that we've seen, the lofts, the restaurants, the shops,
it's awesome. Downtown's coming. You see the hockey, man.
God,
it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And, and I know some people are against the new hospital. Some people are talking about how it's going to affect downtown and so we have separate feelings about that kind of stuff, but and it's just positive growth is what we're seeing.
It is definitely growth. Yeah, but you know what? It's all everything with everything. Time will tell.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong answer. I don't think.
Yeah,
sure. I think if it's done right, it'll work out anywhere.
Yeah.
It just has to be done right. And I think a lot of the hospital part is talk. There's no talk.
Yeah, it's really shrouded in secrecy.
And see, I think that's what really bothers people.
People want to be transparent.
You want to know what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't.
We're nosy.
We
want to know.
Yeah, and the people that do know are obviously, they know they're in the loop. So,
right.
And
so nobody likes them because they're the nose.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't not people, hating on that. So, and I think that it's our generation, like our kind of age frame,
right.
That are turning this city around.
Oh, I think so too.
Like our parents and our grandparents had it back in the 60s and a little bit of the 70s, but the area has been pretty stagnant for a long time. But our age group are empowering the city, and
I think we finally got sick of people talking shit about our hometown.
Yeah.
And we said, no, it's unacceptable.
I hate it.
And we're not going to have it.
I hate when people talk
me
about
too.
our hometown. I just get so
Yeah, me too.
because we could have moved anywhere. A beach in San Diego. We could have been Tampa.
Well, yeah.
But we're right here in sunny Utica, and
Yeah,
we're proud
tropical
of it.
Utica.
Tropical Utica, and we love being here. You
Well,
know,
and
like
I don't care what anybody says. The community in Utica,
yeah,
is second to none.
I was just
Second to none.
Yeah. Did you grow up here?
I grew up here.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, West Side girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was South
My
Side.
family was originally like from Clark Mills. My
Oh, yeah?
grandparents lived in Clark Mills.
Really?
Yeah, my grandmother's family actually had a Limburger cheese factory
Oh
up
my
in Tug Hill.
God, that must have
Yeah.
been a great smell.
Oh, she said you could always tell when you were getting close because the horses would only go halfway up the hill.
That's so funny. And that's, growing up in the country is such a that's
Yeah.
what we kind of do for Samara, our daughter. We kind of live a little bit in the country, and it's good country living,
Right.
So
It's just a little quieter.
yeah, it's a little quieter.
Yeah,
and
we
wanna
raised
be
our kids in Oriskany.
Yeah,
which is
we just
super-
want to be out of the mix. You know what? We don't want to be in the mix.
No.
Some people love the mix. We don't like the mix.
Yeah.
No mix.
No, see, I loved being in Oriskany because it really does take a village to raise a family,
It
you know.
does. Yeah.
But it was a small village.
Yeah.
So the kids had like 54 and 56 in their graduating classes,
Yeah.
and everybody. You would walk in the school. Hi, Emily's mom.
Right, yeah. You know everyone.
Yeah, so and I like that part of it.
And tying that back into what we're talking about houses, like I don't really think our parents cared what house they were in.
Oh no.
Because they like the houses they built now are not like now you look for what taglines, open floor plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great granite and
the
everyone
bathroom
wants
and the
this-
master
remodeled kitchen,
ensuite. Like you see all these little tag words that our parents couldn't give a shit about.
Yeah,
Like they didn't care.
care.
They just wanted a place to raise their
live.
family, and this is it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow up in a house that we live in now. Like
no.
not even close.
Oh no.
I think our house could fit into our bedroom right now, like
Yeah,
our master
yeah,
bedroom. So
exactly.
it just goes to show you how much more people are putting importance on the house, and to a point, I agree with that. But it's what's in the house, I think, is the most important. I think you can turn a family in any house, but if you're really truly happy and you love the house,
Right.
I think you stay loving it.
Oh yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I can tell, like when when we go to a house, you see that sparkle in their eye, that gleam, like
Oh yeah.
they're hugging and talking about this, and they're not really paying attention to the home inspection, and then I find myself alone in the room because they're like talking what kind
and
of
they're in the master bedroom redecorating.
Yeah, they're like thinking
And they're
of
measuring.
it's hilarious. I love
They've got
it.
the tape out and they marked out the furniture.
I love it. And then every so often I'll come downstairs like, everything okay? Like, yeah, it's fine, So
Hey, you still here?
yeah, it's so funny. So I like to give them like the home inspection experience, what I call it. Like the Jimi Hendrix experience.
Yeah, the experience, the whole thing.
It's for me, it's the home inspection experience. Like, I want to get them like excited, empowered. I want to get them thinking, listen, this is your house. This is going to be yours. So let's start thinking of how I'm going to live here. The stuff that I'm going to take care of, and I put a lot of extras in the report. I really go above and beyond for them, like strategies and homeowner tips and guides that they can go back into their inspection and look, okay, I need to do this year. I need to do this. So, and I think
my client Heather loved your report.
Oh, really?
She remarked on it a couple of times that it just, you really did. Because they had put an offer on a house that really did need a lot.
Yeah.
But it was solid.
Yeah.
But she just loved how everything was just laid out that, okay, this has to be done, but don't worry about it, this and that. And,
Yeah. So what
it went above and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was awful sweet of you. What I try and do, I do a couple different kind of inspections. Like if the house really needs a lot of work, I will write a full-on like repair order, like on everything. Like, like I will go through all of the big stuff, and I will tell them what needs to be done, how to fix it, the best way to go about it. And I'll also suggest that they can be in charge of the project, but they use, that they hire a GC to kind of take on the reins of the whole project.
Right.
Then there's other reports where I know that the homeowner is eager to do it, and I know he's going to screw everything up when he does it. But you know what? I love that the most because, it's your house. You screw up. So I kind of give them a little more of the homeowner detailed, like, hey, listen, go to this store, go here, take care of this and that, because I worked for Home Depot for almost 10 years. So just before we had Samara, her mom was transferring hospitals so much state to state to state, and it was very hard to find jobs that had to transfer every 18 months. So
but there's a Home Depot everywhere.
There was a Home Depot everywhere. So they really taught me a lot of what I know today. And I worked and supervised every department from the concrete to framing and roofing. I designed interiors, kitchens. I was on CAD, designing people's kitchens. I was in their house for 6 months when they were doing all new construction, and I loved it.
Well, that's a great way to learn a lot of different
aspects. It is. It's
just,
what a home inspector does. It's like a Home Depot, in your house, except with now the orange apron. I have different colors now.
Yeah, you have a nicer sweatshirt
now.
Yeah.
You have fancier North Face sweatshirt. But it was a very good experience, learning and at first, it wasn't an ideal career for me. No, I was in image consulting in college. I wanted to be help people succeed in life, steer their lives, this and that, like a life coach, stuff like that. I was doing really, I loved it, but there's dream world, and then there's life
kicks in and reality.
You can float through college forever, and when Samara's mom got into school, I was just like, okay, it's time to get busy. So
she's really serious about this.
She's gonna be
she's gonna be a doctor.
Yeah, I'm floating through life, and she's gonna be a successful doctor. What is going on here? And no one prepares you to be a stay-at-home dad. So that was kind of a learning experience, but.
I really love that though. That's special.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys who.
My husband did that for a few
I can
years.
see him. He's got that softer side.
Oh yeah,
to
and you
him,
wouldn't think it looking at him, would you?
Totally not. I saw him today.
He tries
actually.
to act like such a tough guy.
Tough guy, but
he's
soft.
Yeah, he's whatever.
Yeah. So and that's what I did. I love, and I learned. I soaked everything up. I took as many classes as I could take, because I said someday this is going to help me out.
Well, yeah, and it did. It set you up.
Well, for being a homeowner, that was easy, but forming a career around it. So we try and pick places where there's not a lot of people doing this kind of stuff, because of all the red tape and all the insurance that we have to go through, all the certifications and the state. It's just a lot of a
lot of regulations.
It's a lot of regulations,
a lot of liability too.
Oh, a lot of liability, but I love the liability because
it keeps you on your toes and makes you do a better job.
It makes us do a better job.
That's what I think.
A lot of people think, "Oh, I don't want
that.
I don't want that kind of liability." Well, we do, because we're going to succeed. Doing that, because we know that when it's 4th down and 10, we want the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We want to score, and we're going to succeed,
See, and I love that.
Yeah. So I do the home inspections alone, and on the other side, I've taken on a partner, and we do it together, because it's extremely hard to do what we do alone. It's just an impossible feat. So, and having a partner is fun. We always are joking around and keeping it light, but getting our stuff done.
That's good.
It is.
And who's your partner?
His name is Joe Z. I'll give him a
Joe
shout
Z.
out, Joe Z.
Hey, Josie. Next time you got to come in too.
Yeah, no way. He'll never.
No?
No,
Is he a chicken?
No, not a chicken. He likes to.
He's the silent partner.
Yeah, I'm more of like the face.
You're the
in
face of Rock Solid, and he's
media
the
company.
Yeah.
So, I love the kid to death. Like we've gotten to be so close. You know,
That's good.
We've traveled. We've traveled far and wide on some jobs. Like over the summer, we actually we had the company up and running for about 2 months. And we got this email from the state and this big company called Arcadis. They're in Holland. They're a giant company that does like designing and engineering of like environmental issues for like the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Like so they called us and said, hey, we need a couple of so what was happening down in Long Island, an old laundromat was dumping chemicals into the soil. So it was affecting a lot of other companies around there. So we do radon, but we're also having our certifications. We're also can do any kind of soil gas deep pressurization. It could be any chemicals. Yeah. So that's all in our training.
I didn't know this either.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we thought that we'd never use that other like technical stuff. So we put in a bid, and it was like a long-term bid. There were like 10 phases of this project, and we won phase 1 and 2, our little company. So
Excellent.
We took the company to the end of like we almost drowned the company going to do this big project down there. Like we went all in. We anteed in. We put in everything that we had.
Well, you have to though when you do something like that. It's all or nothing.
For us, it was all or nothing, and we did it. We pulled it off. We established a great rapport with this company, and now we're kind of on their radar. So any kind of jobs that come along that we're capable of doing, we're always like on their scope. So
that's incredible.
We got big confidence first. So, I think if we can tackle that big commercial job, we can handle, I think, anything that comes our way here,
going to grandma's basement's not going to be
simple.
So tough.
It isn't. It's like a little kitty cat compared to this lion that we were up against,
Wow, that's incredible.
So, thank you. We were pretty excited about that, So, we took the camper down instead of staying in the hotel. We stayed in like in a camper to cut some of our costs. And
new company.
We almost were like on the brink of bankruptcy. Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. Like so, we always had the attitude of success. So we just I don't know. It's a good feeling to be in this company with Joe. We work really good together, and I don't know if I can do that with a lot of people. There's only a certain people that I can work with like that because I'm so fire. I'm just fire. I'm going 100% all the time.
Yeah. And I'm hard to keep up with too. So
I know you are, and that's why we get along so well.
I know, but there are not many people that I can work for. Like the guys at my husband's shop when I used to walk in would scamper. Because I'm just kind of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know.
When it really comes down to it, look, I'm paying you.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Oh, so you're talking about like when they're under the gun.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would walk into the shop and they would run. Oh, they would. They would make themselves busy doing something.
Here she comes.
Yeah. No, I'm a totally different person to work for, though.
And that's what it takes, just the running and gunning. And I get a lot of I'm not saying complaints, but like, look. Here's a problem that we have, like in a house. Could be anything, XYZ. And okay, here's how to repair it. I can do it for you. Here's the price. Here's the stuff I can do for you. I need to move on. I can't be dragging feet on this one little project and this you thinking that this project is the whole world for you, which maybe it is for you, but I don't have time to coddle you through this one project. I can help you, I can fix it for you, but I need to move on because we're so busy.
Right.
We're being torn in all different directions. And as we grow, more and more agents start knowing, hey, that's just call these guys. We have they don't need to call 100 people.
Well, no, I just learned a
house.
few new things you do tonight too.
Well,
and I thought I knew.
I
saw you in training in Rochester.
These
I'm
are new launches, though. I haven't.
This.
I kind of.
Are we breaking news?
This is like the launch tonight, man, of like the Rock Solid Recovery Division.
You heard it first on Disruption Network.
Rock Solid Recovery on Disruption.
Nice. So you'll be remediating soil and
when
a lot of different things.
In the future, I think, when we get into like the spills.
Yeah.
Septic systems, like kind of excavations.
Right.
That's right up our alley. But for right now, we're just growing at our own pace. And, although we do have sights in our head about being, so diversified, we're just focusing on doing a good job right now.
With everything that you do.
And when the time is right, we'll grow. Like if I had to say our next step is going to be like the asbestos abatement, because a lot of the asbestos equipment we already have for the mold, like the contamination rooms, the air scrubbers, all the stuff that we have
crossover.
Now, tons of crossover. So that's why they kind of go sort of hand in hand.
And there's a lot of asbestos-like material in the
Yeah,
area.
the old vermiculite insulation. And
wrapped around those pipes.
Yeah.
And some siding here and there.
Oh, yeah. You can always tell the siding because it's still in perfect condition.
A roof. I have.
Oh, boy.
There's an asbestos roof, and that bad boy. I had a roofer.
Perfect.
Had a roofer look at it. They're like, "You're crazy if you do anything."
It's 400 years old. Looks like a 30
and it's
year.
like, and it's like perfect.
It's
I've never
perfect.
seen a roof
It's
like it. I'm like, oh
unbelievable.
my god.
Because we did a little bit of crossover training in class, like in Rochester. Like, I have to give a shout out to Cornerstone Training out there in Rochester. They're A1. They're some of the best teachers in the state out there.
That's good to know.
So we go out there for the majority of our training. It's more of an intimate, and the classes are smaller, and we talk about like real life scenarios.
Well, I think you in those classroom situations, you learn almost just as much from the
You
conversation and the experiences of other people.
You do, and I'm totally not a student. Like I'm totally don't belong in a classroom.
No?
No, I like the field and talking to people. But
well, you do a lot of education, though.
I do a lot of training.
I think education is crucial. Yeah,
when I was younger and in high school, you're like, this is bullshit, man. Why do I gotta be here? Like I want to get, and you're thinking, but now I was like, I'm here. Let me learn it. So if someone asks me a question about it, I'm like, sound like an idiot. Like, it will never get jobs that way. So
it's funny how that changes.
It does as you get older.
Yeah,
and
like I was the kid in high school that, I didn't even go to school.
Yeah.
I was partying with my friends like down
me
the road.
Too.
And,
Same with me.
And now I don't miss a class.
I got through by the skin of my teeth, and we talk about, and you see a lot of it going around on Facebook, like, when I was younger, they push college so much. Like, why, if they really knew you got to go to college, Like, I got to tell you, these kids are coming out of college and they're in debt. They don't know any trades. They can't find jobs. Yep. And I think that the trades people are got sick of being called uneducated. Like, I think some of the trades, and are some of the most educated people that they travel and so
they read and you know what, I think we lost so many of our trades
people. It's so down right
when
now.
They pushed everybody to college,
right?
Because where did the home inspectors, the contractors, the plumbers, the electricians, the body men?
Yeah,
my husband complains about it all the time.
Yeah,
there's no young body men coming into the mix.
No. And try and find somebody in a reasonable amount of time to come over to give you a price, but to do the job. It's
or to do
your
it
week's
right.
out.
I'm seeing custom painted motorcycles with 1/4-inch tape, and the guy just clears over the 1/4-inch tape, and I'm like, dude, that's not pinstripe.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this guy hand painted those pinstripes. I'm like,
Yeah.
see how it's raised
And
up?
you know too.
Yeah, and it's like
Todd would never stand for that.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
But it's like they're not craftsmen. They're not tradesmen. They're just,
not anymore.
And
it really opened the door for a lot of people, to go into the trades, and I want people to be more, trades.
Right.
No, do I want them flooded? No, because I like where we are now.
Right.
Because we're more of like specialty and subspecialty trade.
Well, let me tell you, we could use a few more masons in the
Yeah,
area.
a few more masons. Yeah.
Because I swear I can never find one.
One of my buddies, Angelo, he's one of the best.
Yeah, but you can't book him because he's so damn busy.
Yeah.
I love Angelo.
He's the best.
But he's so busy.
He is, and that's very, very
him
good
and Todd, they're swamped.
Totally. Same, with all these guys getting into like electrical and plumbing and I like seeing these guys succeed. I love it.
Yeah. So if you say you can't find work, we just gave you a few ideas on what you should be doing.
Yep, trade schools.
Yeah,
yeah. If you don't know what you're doing, community college, trade schools. It's the way to go. I mean, is it an ideal career for some people? They think they're going to be like an executive sitting behind a desk, like what
not everybody was born to be an executive. though.
No.
I mean, I could see my daughter Danielle sitting behind a desk, 10, 12, 14 hours a day. I could see that.
Yeah.
My daughter Emily, not a chance.
Yeah, but if you look, it is. But if you look, the successful tradesmen in the area, they're their own CEOs of their own companies. They run the business. They do the accounting. They know employee payroll. So do I think that they're uneducated? No, I think that you can take an owner of a small business and put them in a position to run a division of a company.
Yeah, well, they already are.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And you're right. So many tradesmen are self-employed.
Yeah. Yeah. You see them like Saturdays, Sundays. We're our own bosses. We don't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah.
And you see us with our trailers out there, running around the city, and
constantly.
We got our Carhartts on. we think we're cool. I've just bought a Carhartt jacket just to see if I can
now you're
fit
styling.
in. Yeah, styling.
Do you have it embroidered rock solid?
I do, of course, everything now.
Perfect.
And I gave some to my family members.
That's
I
nice.
gotta
can't wait to see Oz's.
Oh, I gotta give them a big shout out, to my family, to my daughter, to my wife, and they've been huge supporters of.
Well, that was a big change for everybody in your family. I mean, you went from Mr. Mom, the stay-at-home dad, and you cooked. So I'm sure there was some dinner on the table,
laundry.
Yeah, what the heck? I don't know that I would have gave that up.
I know
your wife's nuts.
She's nuts. And sometimes she's like, "Oh man, I gotta do some laundry. I gotta do some laundry this weekend." So.
Well, we'll just get her trained. Right?
Yeah, no, she's getting good. That kid, she's on her way. It's just also too. Sarah was the sole provider work, so working now gives her a little bit of a break because she's been going nonstop since high school. Like, you got 4 years of college, 4 years of school, then 4 years of anesthesia. She never stopped for us.
And then residency.
She never stopped for us. So it's nice to give her a little bit of a break. It's been a change, but now that it's evened out a lot more, than I'm learning a lot more about it. I'm home a lot more, and I can schedule
that adjustment period.
Yeah, the 18 months was intense.
Well, because when you're first starting, when you're first starting, you have to take everything.
Well, it wasn't this. I was just, and I don't know if I was under the assumption or it was just, it's been just told to me that, your first 3 or 4 years are going to be real slow. You're only going to do a couple.
But you got into it in a good market too.
I did, but I worked hard. I was in.
Absolutely.
So and even in a good market. There's some that don't succeed, you know. So
true. But you're staying educated.
Yeah, stay on top of things. I read all the time.
You stay top of mind.
All the time.
You always share with us.
I keep sharp. I do. I have nothing to
know,
hide.
No, I mean, like, if there's something that we really need to know as real estate agents.
Yeah, a lot of agents call me for a lot of different
you're
stuff.
You're always there.
Yeah.
Or you'll put out like a little blurb on your Facebook. I've seen it 100 times.
I love it. Just to get the word out.
Hey, did you guys realize this? And
yeah.
I may not comment on it, but I see it.
Yeah, sure. It's sometimes it's not to gain notoriety as it is to, hey, listen, here's what's going on, and I get a lot of private phone calls from agents like, hey, I got this. What do you think? Can you come take, and so, I like doing it. I like being challenged.
Yeah.
I like the harder equations of it. I don't like the easy ones. They're just too easy. Anybody can do that. Like, I love the difficult problems that come about that no one else can solve, that I know that we can do that.
Yeah, that you'll work through and you'll find the solution.
Yeah, and we're a rare breed. I think I'm only one of like 3 home inspectors in the entire state to do it all.
Wow.
Yeah, so I like being in that group there. That
Yeah, it's a small group.
The Blake Smith out of Clinton. He's another one. He's I look to him, and he's our main competition. Right. And I call him. I say, hey Mike, we're in this. We got this issue, and he has been so helpful. So
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is. Guy. And I don't feel like he's our main competition. If he doesn't get it, we get it. If we don't get it, he's doing it. So
you don't feel there's that loss?
I don't know. I don't feel we have enough to keep us busy, but it's nice that we collaborate on like certain things, and he doesn't ask us for questions because I think he's got it. He's been doing it 30 years. So.
You're the rookie. How do you go to the rookie with a question?
Right, exactly.
So how's that going to look?
So when that
he's got to call like a 90-year-old guy.
Yeah, the rate on company itself, So, and I respect them a lot. I have nothing but good things to say about all the people like in the industry. I think, again, that goes back to a lot with the Utica community. Yeah. Because, I hear so many stories from not even that far away, like Albany area and, New York City, of course, and here and there, how, real estate agents are all backbiting this and that and the other thing. And I'm not seeing that.
15 minutes ago, I just gave Ozza how much praise.
Yeah, for sure, and it goes
and
around
how many other
too.
agents are phenomenal around here. I mean, I wouldn't even want to try to do it all myself.
No, and
you can't. It's impossible.
And you know what? You see, there's not a group of people that are this much fun. Like you get together, like the Christmas parties and like some of the parties that we have, and like
we are a wild group.
It's
the
fun.
Real estate bunch.
I love being a part of it. It's so fun. Like there's something new all the time. It's just a fun group to be around.
It is very interesting.
Yeah,
keep you on your toes.
It does. I love it. It's been such a great 18 months, but I'm ready to this next couple weeks when go away with the family and kind of
recoup
for the new year, start talking about, new strategies for the new year.
Maybe start working on that asbestos.
Yeah. we got to get, the mold's going really good. So we're going to focus on that for now.
Let that settle in and gel and then.
Yeah. Because we got 2 or 3 jobs now under our belts, and we're like feeling real comfortable, and a lot of the people that can trust us, know that we're going to do a good job for them,
Well, it's comforting.
It is, you don't want to call, hey, who's this new guy coming in here? Like, oh, we know him because he does this and this. Like, it's not like, he's going to half-ass a new job, but like, it's just that doesn't work that way, if you're
he was just flipping burgers down at McDonald's. He's got this.
He's doing it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's got a spacesuit here.
He knows.
He's got a little scrub. He's got a little scrub brush there, so.
And a bottle of Clorox.
Yeah, Clorox. Jesus.
That he pulled from the well.
Yeah, from the garage. He just mixed it up.
That's perfect.
And we like to make, we like our when people are happy and they move in and ultimately we reach the goal for everyone. The agents keep their customers happy. Your customers are singing praise to the agents because they have suggested somebody who's on top of it.
It made them feel safe and protected.
Absolutely. And then when they get in the house, they just have a good experience overall. Whether it's from the home inspection, if they need some specialty stuff done, they all have a good feeling, and that's your good name gets out that way. That's how you get referral business.
Absolutely.
It's a huge referral market. It's everything.
Well, you've done a great job, obviously.
Thank
or else
you
you
so
wouldn't
much.
have grown at all.
Yeah, like if I was
because you really are right. If you're not getting referred, you're dead.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a funny story that I tell everyone here. So the very first home inspection that I got, like I was just fresh out of school, and I just got my license. Like the day after, like I got my license, an inspection came out of what was Realty USA, but now it's Howard Hanna. What? So we learn certain terms in class, like so I get a call for a structural inspection, and I know in the real estate world, structural is just meaning that's the inspection.
Yeah.
So I was questioning it. I was just like, structural. So they just got me to inspect the structure. I mean, I can do that. That'd be a good start for me. I don't know what to charge. I mean, I would charge $100. I just check the structure, and they're like, no, you have to turn the water on and take off the like electrical box, and I'm like, yeah, I know all that. I know that's what I have to do. But you said you just want to strut, and it was funny. I was cracking.
Don't use that term.
I was cracking up, and she's like,
God.
"You dumbass!" And
I gotta ask her about that.
We always tell it's the most funny story ever.
That's
Like, yeah, it is. It's like a great start to a great career, like the very first one. I'm not ashamed of it. It's so funny.
No,
like,
yeah.
It's just a great
You can't
story,
be.
a funny story to tell.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
What a way to
I
start.
was like, you dumbass, what are you doing here? Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh boy, this business is going downhill super fast.
I screwed the first one
I know.
up.
What? I screwed the pooch on my first inspection.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Jay got me when I was writing my first contract, and he goes, you need to do that in triplicate. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, no, I got a copy machine. Why can't I just do it on a copy? And he's like, no, you have to write that in triplicate. Asshole. You don't have to write it in triplicate. He just wanted to see if I would do it 3 times.
Oh, really? Or do the carbon paper one, like the
no, there wasn't even any carbon paper around.
It was like the old credit card machine.
Well, no, I wrote out 3 contracts and had them sign all. I could have killed them.
But you
what an idiot I was.
Your first beginnings, they're the best memories.
Oh, they are.
Your beginnings, and I mean, I'm still kind of in the beginning stages, but they're the best memories. Like you look back on it, like, man,
I'll never do that
I'll
again.
never do that again.
Ever.
Yeah.
Never making that mistake.
And you know what? Going into the offices, with this energy that I have, and I know everyone's going 1,000 different ways, and it's hard to catch, the agents coming in and out, but I like to bring a certain energy to the offices, and
and you usually bring chocolate, which we appreciate.
I do. I usually bring some
love
chocolate.
Us. That's
I do.
That's the way to the realtor's heart.
I just
like
love
through their
being
stomach.
a part of the world, like the housing world. Like it's just a great
It's a great group of people.
It is. It's
very giving, loving.
And we have a great group like up here. I can't say enough
so
about it too.
Yeah, just every company even. I mean, Hunt and Sexton and Howard Hanna and Weicker.
Pandras.
I love Pandra.
Yeah, me too. I talked to her today. I love Pandra. So
she's a riot.
She's
the best. I knew her from back when I was tending bar.
She's old
years
school,
ago.
man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I always knew how I stood with her.
Oh yeah,
she doesn't mess around.
No. If you mess up,
she's
telling you.
Yeah, I told the
but
line
she'll still
with her.
love you.
I love her. Yeah.
And she'll forgive you,
she
but you'll
will.
know it.
Yeah. It's just a fun group, and everyone's trying to fight for their own slice of the pie, and it's just.
But we all still work together. Well, I
do. You do. I seldom
really
see any kind of altercations or.
We all get grumpy once in a while.
And when there is, I
but
run. I get out. I get out of there.
Usually I do too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you just fight. I'll be back. Let me know when you're coming.
Yeah, seriously. I know.
I'm not getting that messed up over
Yeah.
this. It's stressful enough.
Yeah. So I don't know. I going back to what we're saying, I really, really love what I do now. It's such a fun place to be. So.
And it's lucky you have the support of your family, because it makes all the difference.
It was hard to get away,
Well, she had her daddy the whole,
she
10
did.
years.
She was my biggest.
So now,
she was my biggest supporter to the whole thing.
Well, she probably knew you needed it.
Yeah, and we're in her too. She needed the break and stuff from her
and
friends. So
do some of her own things.
Yeah, it is.
You were cramping her style.
I was cramping her style. Yeah, the next lifetime, that's what I'm gonna come back as.
Yeah.
People say they want to come back as me. I get that a lot,
Yeah.
but no, I'm gonna come back as her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Give her the business.
Give her the business. Yeah. Yeah, she'll do well, I think, whenever she does. She's lucky. Girls travels all over the world with us, and
Well, she's been exposed to a lot.
She is.
Does she have any thoughts on what she might want to do, or is
I
it
don't
too
know.
early yet?
She's all over the place.
Well, because she's only 12.
What do you want to do when you grow up? Neurosurgeon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I could
It's a
see
lot
it.
of hard work, but I think if she puts it in,
That's all right. Her
she
mom
can do
set
it.
the tone, and her dad
How
showed her
about
how.
orthodontist, Tom? The braces. That's a pretty good business to be in. That's a racket in itself.
Hey, what's wrong with a neurosurgeon?
No, nothing's wrong with that. If you taking
You
care
never
of,
know. You
if
might
take
need
care of my
one.
brain. Yeah, I need a frontal lobotomy.
Yeah, a couple of years down the road, she'll hook you right up.
This has been so fun today.
This was fun.
This is awesome.
And we are actually running out of time.
Are we okay?
So do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you to Z and Adeline for having me on. I hope I can come back. We can.
Definitely, because you're going to have some more things to talk about. I'm thinking
sure,
probably 6 months down the road, 2 more companies.
Yeah, 2 more, please. I'm barely treading water now to keep up with everyone. I just want to say thank you for having me. This has been such a great experience, and it's been super fun.
Thank you so much.
So light. No, thank you,
because
Addie.
we needed to get out the message on the mold, the radon.
And I'm gonna be at your first, the first of the year. I'm gonna be at your first big staff meeting at Faith. I'm gonna be talking to you guys. A
little more mold education.
Yeah, a little more of what we talked about, but on a more kind of intimate, off the scene kind of agent talk.
So if anybody needs an inspection, is concerned about radon, wants to have you come and look at mold, how do they reach you?
On Facebook, they can look at my business. They can call me. I mean, I'm on Google, and we're on all the advertisements. Talk to your agent. Chances are they're gonna know me.
Yeah. Or reach out to me. I'll put you right in touch with Ben.
Adeline, and thank you so much. And if you're interested in buying or selling a home,
you better say Azza, because she'll kick your ass.
How do they get in touch with you?
They call me 315-404-6431.
There it is. Got it.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you so much, Addie.
This has been the Home Free Podcast with your host, Adeline Vandyke. Interested in buying a home? Look her up online at coldwellbankers.com/Adeline Vandyke or call 315-404-6431. Like us on Facebook at Home Free.